Yeah, man, this series is just, it just doesn't stop. And I'm gonna start this review off by going, did I not call it? Did I not call it? All right, let's take a look at this chapter. Let's just get right into it. I can't be bothered to do an intro. Okay, it's too good. It's too good. We start off in the archives. All right, Kamanabi archives. Some random NPC is looking at a history book called Hishaku. We get some information, and supposedly the first thing we learn about the Hishaku, right? It says members whose names are not in a family registry, sorcery from outside of the dominant lineages. Now, the first thing this suggests is that our theory that the Hishaku, or at least Yura, that side of the Hishaku, is not from the island. Members whose names are not in a family registry, as in Kamanabi, Japan's family registry, and from outside the dominant lineages of sorcery. So there already is like some evidence we need to go, yes, Yura is most likely from the island, but wait, it doesn't stop there, okay? Because what I was saying last week is getting... it's been proven, all right? We were right, because what we see is another panel of something saying there was a wide age range in the Hishaku, and they had the skills to pull off the execution of Kunishige Rokuhiro, which obviously we knew about. And we kind of get some, you know, information. The information we get is that we don't know anything. Wow, thanks, Okazono. That's great. You've told us that we don't know anything about the Hishaku? Oh, yeah, we hadn't figured that out. We know everything, obviously. This guy refuses to give us answers, man. Please. The chapter's called Phantoms, and what's the first thing that we cut back to after last chapter? What is the first, like, major thing that we see here? Oh, look at that. Azami off-screened the Samurai Hishaku, which, judging by how quick and easy that was, and the fact that Azami himself is looking at the body going, something's off, bruv. That was too easy. This is hella creepy. What's happened here? This guy cannot be real, bro. He cannot be a real Hishaku. I know Azami's him, but the fact... And also, I'm still so angry. I'm so angry we still haven't seen Azami's sorcery, man. I just want to see this guy fight, please. But yeah, so the guy got off-screened. The current theory is that it's some kind of, like, puppet or Hishaku substitute, or some guy that can be, like, revived over and over again. Basically, he was a decoy, is what it seems like, okay? Because Azami's looking at him going, bro, you are not a Hishaku, like, what? So yeah, that happens. We then cut to Uruha and Hakuri, who are still making their way down the hallway, and they've kind of been confronted by some NPC fodder who Uruha is going to obviously just take care of in no time at all. But then we just drop another, like, crazy panel. The exact next page, we see the remaining Hishaku members. They're revealed with Yura, like, 4 members of the Hishaku plus Yura, so 5 of them sat on the first floor of Kamanabi headquarters. Like, they're just in the building, casually. They're sitting there having a cup of tea, like it's nothing. We've got Ikaku Madarame over here, who's like this bald dude who puts his tie over his head. Best Genist. And then we've got this Levi-looking Hishaku who, for some reason, like, we've never heard of this guy before, but when him and Yura go for a little piss break later on, Yura just casually drops that this guy is the strongest Hishaku member. Okay, that's good to know. But we finally get a face reveal for the female Hishaku, the one that was there when they killed Rokuhiro. So yeah, this is the rest of the Hishaku. We've seen all 10 of them now. And yeah, these 5 plus Yura, who's the leader, are in Kamanabi HQ, waiting to get an opening to move down. There's this old reception, the guy who works at the reception, he's there, and he's like, bruv, you don't scare me, I can feel your spiritual pressure, you guys ain't shit. But Yura's just taking the piss. Yeah, you see what I did there? Because he needs a piss. The whole point of this conversation is that he wants the old man to tell him whether... Okay, I'll stop. But yeah, Yura basically says, alright, you don't want to tell me where the toilet is? Fine, let's do heads or tails, alright? Heads, you get to kill me. Tails, tell me where the toilet is. He's putting his life on the line so that he can be told where the bathroom is. Has he got some kind of luck-based ability? Who knows, because when he flips the coin, it's tails, which means the old man has to tell him where the toilet is. What happens next, though? Oh, Hakazono. Oh, we get 2 panels that look suspiciously like the dungeon where the Swordmaster is kept. And I don't know if you remember, but for many months now, if you've been tuning into the streams, and in my last chapter review video, I said I think that the Swordmaster and Yura are related because they have the same Rinnegan design eyes. Funnily enough, after seeing 2 panels of what looks like the Swordmaster's little cave in the basement, we then see Yura, the most locked in he has ever been for the whole series, and his eyes go full black in the exact same way that Hokuzono has been doing for the Swordmaster, which is confirmation that at the very least their eyes are significant and are the same, because this is not a theory, this is Hokuzono deliberately showing that he has got this, whatever this ability is, he has got it, alright? This kind of weird eye thing that they've got going on, this is telling us there is a serious connection between Yura and the Sword Saint, alright? That is, it's true, like it's not a theory anymore, it is fact. There is a relationship between them, okay? Most likely related. My theory, going again off the fact that they're both most likely from the island, is that it is a Daten-Seki enhancement, because if you remember, a special trait of the people from the island is that they are immune to Daten-Seki. They don't die, they can just use it to become hella strong. My theory is that when their eyes go like that, they are turning into the savages that we've been told the people of the island were, and are using the power of Daten-Seki to enhance themselves. My current theory is that Yura's piercings on his face are actually made out of Daten-Seki, and he can draw power from them whenever he chooses to enter this island savage mode where his eyes go blacked out and he turns into this absolute sorcery demon monster. Because at the moment he does that and he locks in, the old man, who wasn't scared at all, craps his pants. And Yura asks him again, he says, "Do you still think I'm not all that?" Because he clearly felt his spiritual pressure like he's Aizen or something, and then went, "Oh my god, this guy is a terrifying monster." And Yura goes back to his old goofy self and goes off to the bathroom, casually has this conversation with the other Hishaku, and is like, "Oh yeah, by the way, you're the strongest, don't be nervous." And it's like, okay, we have so much information being dumped on us at the same time. Hokuzono, would you give us a minute to just breathe it all in, please? But yeah, there's just crazy amount of stuff. Anyway, on that top floor, they start making the transportation circle, like the Masumi did, so that they can go onto the lower levels. But obviously, the barrier's still up, so how are they going to be able to get down there? It's clear you can't just teleport. Oh, but wait. Guess who are blackmailed traitors, or at least suspected to be blackmailed traitors? That's right. It's the guy plugged into all the security cameras, the guy in charge of the barrier, the guy in charge of all of the Kamanabi's defenses down in that little basement surrounded by his NPCs that look like the Central 46. Guess what? Yeah, they're all traitors. Great. So the blonde, angry council member of the Kamanabi is there and he's like, "Hey, what's wrong?" And they're all sat there sweating, like sweating, knowing what's coming, looking at the clock above as Yura starts counting down from 10. They don't know he's counting, they've just been given a time and they know that it's about to happen, so they are sweating. One of the NPCs can't take the pressure, so I think he tries to make a run for it or something, and the council member, who, remember, this is an angry dude, alright? This guy has got a temper on him. He just straight up, like, batters him. He just destroys the NPC with his weird bead sorcery. And in that exact moment, because I suspect it was his job to distract the Kamanabi sorcerer, in that exact moment, the guy in charge of the barriers drops it for a second, for a split second, all right? And then he goes, "Oh, it was just a blip, nothing wrong." In that tiny little blip where he drops it, the Hishaku teleport to the lower levels into the hallway where Hakuri and Uruha are, and we then get what is possibly one of the best double spreads in the... It is one of the best double spreads in the manga. I can't say the best because, you know, we had last chapter, but... oh my god, it's unreal. It's absolutely, like, it's insane. I've never seen Yura so locked in. This guy is locked. We've got Best Genist. We've got the female Hishaku. We've got the new guy introduced with Nanami's Tai, who's supposedly the strongest. We've got this Ikkaku Madarame looking One Punch Man Saitama guy. And then Yura. 5 of them on the lower level, running for, like, God knows what they're running for, but they are locked. Like, they have got a plan. They just played everyone. And now they're in. They're in the lower levels. They've just bypassed Azami completely because they don't want to fight Azami because he's Azami, you know? Unfortunately for them, though, we still have a trump card because they did not know that Uruha was alive. So Uruha turns around. This guy, Uruha, turns around. He sees 5 Hishaku members running towards him, but he stays calm. He tells Hakuri to stand back. We then get told, confirmation, I know it's been theorized for a while, we get confirmation that once an eternal contract is broken, your original sorcery is restored. And he says, it's been close to 20 years, but I can help because this time I'm armed. And we then get this cold panel of Uruha facing off against 5 Hishaku members and their leader Yura. He is so locked, he puts his fingers to his face and he says, finally, it's my turn, which means this guy turned around and he has gone, I have my sorcery back and I know, or at least I think, that I am strong enough to deal with all 5 of you at once, which obviously isn't going to be true because Yura's there and Yura looks hella locked in too. But I think Uruha's going to get a good shot in. What I think is going to happen, he's probably going to take out 2 of them, I reckon. Best Genist and the Bold Guy, because they haven't got much, like, exposition. He's probably going to absolutely annihilate them, and then Yura's most likely going to push forward. I suspect maybe what they're here for, to be completely honest with you. I think they want to kidnap Hikuri. I think they want Hikuri off the board, or even just kill him, to be honest. Obviously, like, Uruha's going to get his ass beat. I think he's going to cook, get battered, and then Hikuri is probably going to save him from a fatal blow, and then reinforcements are going to arrive, possibly being Samura and Chihiro. I think is probably what's going to happen. But yeah, Yura's on the lower levels, and they've got a plan, and they're locked. We're about to see some crazy fights. I gotta be real with you, Uruha, you're so cold for that. Like, imagine having the confidence in yourself. Remember, Kunishige gave this guy an enchanted blade for a reason. They were losing the war. Like, flat out losing. Which means that he's gotta be hella strong. You're not gonna give that blade to just anyone. If you want to save your whole nation, you're gonna give it to the strongest around. He gave one to Uruha. Which means when Uruha turns around and thinks he can handle this, I kind of trust him. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's gonna be broken. But yeah, Yura as well, I think, is also gonna be just insanely cracked. And I do think when his eyes go black, he is enhancing himself with Datanseki, which, remember, when the 5 blades were introduced into the war, they stalemated with the people from the island. The Datanseki enhanced savages from the island were so strong that they stalemated 5 enchanted blades, which does mean no matter how strong Uruha is with just base sorcery, if I'm brain damaged. If Yura does decide to go Datanseki mode, like we're speculating, Uruha gets cooked. They all get cooked. I think he's the strongest man in the building. He will be enchanted blade level. If that theory is true, Yura and the Swordmaster, even without swords, are probably enchanted blade level. And yeah, it's a confirmation that there is some very key relationship between Yura and the Swordbearer. And my speculation is still that they're from the island, and then when their eyes go dark, it's because they're Datanseki enhanced. And I think the reason the Swordmaster always looks like that is because he's been so exposed to Datanseki that he's now in a permanent state, and that's why he's so strong and scary. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It's crazy. But I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know where we go from here. I have no idea. I ain't got a clue. Like, what do we do? There are so many POVs we could switch to, so many, like, flashback opportunities, so much lore to drop, so many fights to be seen. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't go back to this fight for ages. We're probably just going to change POVs, or go to a flashback, or get more lore. Either way, I think it's always just going to be a 10 out of 10. Like, Hokuzono just doesn't fail. But anyway, yeah, that is the chapter. Insane chapter, and those are my current thoughts and theories and confirmation that a lot of our theories from last week are true. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know if you enjoy these videos, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Like, subscribe, look at membership options, and I will see you in a bit.